it's nice.
Yeah.
So you sent already your PowerPoint?
I have, but I can share from here or you share my
Oh,
PowerPoint?
you share that just to
I share,
connect,
yeah? Okay.
just to keep administration there.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I already sent PowerPoint. I also send the logo.
Okay. Okay. So, but now in your campus, your student is go to school, come to campus?
Yes,
Oh,
we very lucky.
oh yeah.
We have only 30 case
Ah,
in
nice.
April and finish. All good
Oh,
now.
wow.
So we are normal. No new
Yeah,
normal. Normal.
normal. Good, good.
Yeah, yeah. So we have student from today. Everyone.
So it's mean I have to move to Australia.
Yeah, you should. You should come
Regarding,
here. Bring Pak Hamsu with you.
yeah. Hello,
Uh,
Pandi. Hello. Yeah, you still unmute. So just to report that until today, we're targeting around 250 participants
mhm.
and already registered around 200 now.
Okay.
Yeah, 200 participants.
All from Indonesia or different place?
Around 20% from overseas.
20%
Yeah,
overseas. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And our secretary ministry uh, uh, is already prepared. Yeah,
Okay.
but Pahamso actually is not also in campus. He's in out from
Oh,
campus. Yeah,
where is he? In
in
Germany?
Makassar. In Makassar.
Makassar. Okay.
Ah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Hello, Andy. Good afternoon.
Hi, good
Andy,
afternoon. Nice to
you're
meet
from,
you.
yeah, nice to meet you as well. You're from Singapore.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I wish I could travel to Singapore, but our borders in Australia is closed.
Our
Uh,
borders are also closed.
Even you are
I
normal
wish that
but
I'm in
close. Yeah.
Australia.
yeah, I know. And we are normal only in my state. Everywhere
Oh,
else
okay.
is still going. In New South
Ah,
Wales, like
oh,
Melbourne, Sydney is still going.
okay.
But
That's good.
here, it's all, our state is locked, so nobody come in, nobody go out.
Oh,
Yeah.
Even for interstate.
Yeah, we can't
selamat
go interstate. We cannot travel
selamat siang
to,
Bu Giri.
Oh, okay.
yeah. Yeah,
Selamat siang Bu
so,
Sesmen. So our secretary ministry is already here. So now we just while we wait the participants, we see the video of Poltek Par ya. Selamat siang Bu Giri. This is a video of Lombok. So to invite you come to Lombok.
Pristine tropical beaches. Exotic rituals. In the beautiful island of Lombok. Colorful craft. Created from local resources. Presented to visitors. Authentic traditional villages. Distinctive pottery. guests can take part in the process. Exquisite pearls. Embark on a remarkable voyage. A visit to the nature preserve. Towards the sea and beaches. A thrilling adrenaline rush in a spectacular turquoise water. Parties on the beach. Celebration of enigmatic local culture. Amazingly festive. Exploring the tracks. Crystal clear waters of the towering plateaus. A serene volcano in Lombok, the other island paradise. Wonderful Indonesia.
Selamat siang Bu Giri.
Selamat siang Pak Hamsu, Pak Farid. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Well, we're waiting for one of Pak Omar, yeah. Pak
Okay.
Omar still, we're waiting for Pak Omar from
It's okay.
Turkey.
Was in Turkey, I think at 7 p.m. at the moment.
Yeah, 7 p.m. now in Turkey.
7 p.m. or morning?
Um,
Oh yes,
8 p.m.
sorry.
Morning.
It's morning. It's morning.
AM.
7 a.m. 7 a.m.
Huh?
So mana dia belum ada? Well, I think while we're waiting the Pak Omar from Turkey, just a short video for webinar. Yeah, short video for webinar. Yeah, yeah. 1 or 2, 1 minute, only 1 minute, 1.5 minute.
saya melihat begini, coba lihat di
Hmm? Memang? Email.
Thank you. Ini. Terus, Assalamualaikum, Mr. Omar.
Walaikum salam, Dr. Said.
Yeah. So finally you are here now, yeah?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Okay. Wah, jelek ini. Wah, suruh matikan aja. Okay. Good afternoon everyone, ya. Selamat siang Ibu Giri, Pak Hamsu, dan seluruh peserta webinar, international webinar, ya. And Pak Omar, Assalamualaikum Pak Omar.
Walaikum salam. Salam alaikum to everybody.
Ya, Waalaikumsalam. Ya, Pak, here we are now. Ibu Giri is Secretary of Ministry of Tourism is here. Pak Omar already here also. Pak Andi and also Pak Barat. Yeah. Pak Hamsu, yeah, Director of Poltek Pas also here. So we will welcome to our program, our event. Yeah. This is initiative from Poltek Par Lombok. I think we will say also welcome dan selamat datang para peserta semua yang ada. Yeah, we welcome to all of participants who join this meeting, and in our administration told that who already registration around 200 participants is already here, and then around 20% from overseas, and then mostly from Indonesia, of course. Especially 90% of them are lecturers, yeah, who would like to learn, to get sharing from you, all of the speakers, yeah, from Turkey, and then from Republic Polytechnic and from CDU, yeah, Charles Darwin University. So I think this time Pak Hamsu is there. Pak Hamsu? Hello, Pak Hamsu?
Okay.
Oh yeah. So I think we will start our webinar now. This is I would like to ask for the times to Pak Hamsu to open the welcome speech, yeah, for 5 minutes, and then we continue to Ibu Giri as a Secretary of Ministry, and we continue to our panel discussion. So time is yours, Pak Hamsu.
Terima kasih Pak Farid. Thank you Mr. Farid. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam.
Salam sejahtera buat kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, dan salam Indonesia sehat. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Special honor to Ibu Trandani Wayan Giriatnyani, MSc, MCHE, Secretary Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy, for attending this international webinar. Today, on behalf of Lombok Tourism Polytechnic, I welcome you all to this international webinar. Special thanks to all speakers also. The first is Pak Barat, the side. Thank you for joining, Pak. He is a head of tourism, hospitality, and service industry, Charles Darwin University. And the second one, Mr. Andy Kok. Yeah. He is a Center of Education Development, Republic Polytechnic, Singapore. And the last one, our speaker, Associate Professor Dr. Omar Akgun Tekin. He is a lecturer of management, Akdeniz University, Antalya, Turkey. Assalamualaikum, Pak Omar.
Alaikum salam.
It is a pleasure because you're prepare your time and for sharing experiences in teaching method applied. Ladies and gentlemen, for some of you who might not familiar with our institution or campus, let me a little bit introduce Lombok Tourism Polytechnic, or in Indonesia we call Poltekpar Lombok. It's one of the 6 vocational higher education institutions under the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy, Tourism and Creative Economy Board. It was established in 2016. We currently have 4 study programs and has 1,100 students at the moment. The program study, namely food and beverage services management, and the second culinary art management. The third one is room division management. For this 3 study program, Diploma 3, and also 1 travel arrangement for the Diploma 4. We have a responsible to support and assist the government in providing professional human resources, of course, especially to support a special economic zone Mandalika. Yeah, it's one of the super priority destination in Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, Ibu Giri yang kami hormati, as we know, COVID-19 pandemic has forced us to adapt, especially a teaching and learning activity. Considering best suited teaching technique for both theoretical and practical, online class is needed. Therefore, it is important to hear from other institutions or other tourism institutions from other countries for their model distance or online learning in both theoretical and practical subject that you use in the new normal. The last one, I think we would like to thank very much to all our team who preparing this web seminar, international seminar, and I think I would like to say you stay safe, stay healthy, and travel tomorrow. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang. Pak Umar still good morning ya.
Good morning too. Good afternoon too.
Okay. Thank you very much, Pak Hamsu. Terima kasih, ya, from Director of Lombok Tourism Polytechnic. Now I think the time we come to Ibu Giri, our Honorable Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, Permanent Secretary of Tourism of Ministry. We would like to give you time to give a short speech for our webinar today. Please go. And also open it. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Pak Farid. Good morning and good afternoon to all of you. Honorable speakers, I'm learning this from Australia, from Turkey, and from Singapore. From Australia, Mr. Bharat Dese, the Dean of Tourism Faculty, Charles Darwin University, and Honorable Mr. Dr. Omar Akgun Tekin, the Dean of Tourism Faculty at Deniz University, Antalya, Turkey. Good morning. Maybe very early morning in Turkey, still at 7 a.m. My understanding.
It's 9 p.m. now.
Oh, it's 9. And good afternoon, Mr. Andy Kopp, the Principal Lecturer, Center of Educational Development, Republic Polytechnic, Singapore. And of course, the Director of Polytechnic Pariwisata Lombok, Mr. Hamsu, and my colleague, Mr. Farid. And of course, honorable participants, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to express my great gratitude to all of you, especially for the honorable speakers, for your participation, and then also for the contributions to these international seminars. And at these times, this condition already forced us to adapt and adopt the situation to respond the situations, and we have to use to implement how we can make the technology more useful for our educational institutions. Please allow me to speak both in English and also in Bahasa Indonesia. And in the ministry, to respond these situations, we already formulated some protocols. We refer to the protocol, health protocols issued by the Ministry of Health, but we also provide guidelines for our stakeholders. We already formulate the protocol for hotels and for restaurants, and also for the stakeholder in creative economy. And I think this seminar will be very beneficial for all of us, not only for the Polytechnic in Lombok, as mentioned by Pak Hamsu, under the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy. We have 6 schools, or 6, one in Medan, Bandung, Palembang, Bali, and then Makassar, South Sulawesi. And I learned that there are about more than 100 right now already attending these seminars, and by this webinar, as mentioned by Pak Farid and Pak Hamsu, we could share and then we could learn each other. Bagaimana kita mengimplementasikan e-learning? What have you done in your country, in your school, in university? And then my question also, have you done the evaluations since COVID? If you implement more e-learning, and then what is the response? And then what is what about the deliverable to the students? And then what is the response from the student with these conditions? So saya kira akan sangat bagus sekali. Mungkin kita akan berbagi metodologi tentang e-learning tersebut, apa yang dilakukan di Australia, di Singapura, kemudian di Turki, dan apa juga yang sudah kita lakukan di Lombok, mungkin saling berbagi. Nah, barangkali di Singapura, Turki, dan Australia sudah melakukan evaluasi terhadap pelaksanaan ini. Dan mungkin juga mendapatkan respon dari para mahasiswanya. Nah, dan apa yang mereka revisi dari pengalaman-pengalaman itu. Mungkin teknik-teknik itu bisa saling berbagi, sehingga kita juga bisa melakukan, so we can adapt and adopt from your method, from your technique that you use in your university. So silakan dilaksanakan, karena webinar itu biasanya waktunya lebih pendek daripada workshop. If normally when we conduct a workshop like this and then with offline, we use like one full day workshop. Even we sometimes we organize more than 1 day, like 2 days workshop. But I'm sure, although very short webinar in 2 or 3 hours, but this valuable time we can learn from each other. Ya, saya kira demikian yang bisa saya sampaikan, Bapak Ibu and honorable speakers. Selamat melaksanakan webinar. Dengan demikian saya nyatakan webinar ini dibuka secara resmi. So. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat sore.
Terima kasih, Bu.
Terima kasih banyak Ibu Iri. Semoga semua bisa berjalan dengan lancar. We hope that all of the things will be running well. So now, thank you Pak Ibu, Pak Hamsu.
Yeah.
Now we will continue to our panel session. But before then, well, this is very great discussion, of course, because we have a short time that mentioned by Ibu Giri, that we have only 10 minutes every speakers, and then every speakers, all the participants already mentions here that question and answer, they put in a question and answer sheet, and then we will asking some more useful question to all of you, 3 of the speakers, later on. So now I think we will starting from the speaker is far away from our place, from Mr. Omar, because now we have 3 from 3 continents, from Asia, Australia, and Europe. So I think it's very far away. We give a chance to Pak Omar to give a short speech, short experience, around 10 minutes, and then continue to Pak Barat and Pak Andi. So time is yours, Pak Omar.
Okay, thank you very much for this organization. It's a perfect opportunity to us to share our experience about COVID-19 period all over the world. If you give me a permission, I would like to present my PowerPoint presentation about the topic. Can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay, I will make it fast. At first, I would like to give you some information about Antalya, because Antalya is a Mediterranean city in Turkey, and the Akdeniz University is located in Antalya. Antalya is one of the most popular tourism destinations of the Europe and Turkey. Last year, maybe you know, we welcomed 52 million tourists from different countries, and the 16 million of these tourists came to the Antalya destination. So it's a very famous. It's a very famous touristic destination. In this city, there are more than 400 five-star hotels, and approximately 1 million people work in tourism industry in Antalya. And Akdeniz University is a state university that was founded in 1982. Now there are 24 faculties. These faculties give bachelor's degree for 4 years programs, 7 postgraduate research institutions. These institutions give master and doctorate programs, 16 vocational schools of higher education, and these are college degrees for 2 years programs, and 60 research centers on different disciplines at Akdeniz University. There are more than 67,000 students and 2,700 academic staff at Akdeniz University. To get more information, you can use these websites. And this is a photo of Akdeniz University near Mediterranean Sea. In Turkish, Akdeniz means Mediterranean. We have 2 different tourism faculties. The first one is the oldest one on the left side, as you can see. Tourism faculty located in the main campus, and the second one is the Manavgat Tourism Faculty. It's located in Manavgat County campus. I'm working in this faculty. There are more than 4,000 undergraduate and postgraduate students at 80 academic staff in these faculties. We have some bachelor's degree programs, for example, gastronomy, culinary arts, tourism management, tour guiding, and recreation management are our bachelor's degree programs. And we also have master and doctorate programs, for example, tourism management, gastronomy and culinary arts, tour guiding, hospitality management are master degree also. And 2 of them have doctorate degrees, tourism management and gastronomy and culinary arts. Now I would like to give you information about before COVID-19 days. These days were happy days because there was no pandemic and we were all healthy days. In the education system of our faculty, there are 2 different types of courses. The first one are theoretical courses, for example, mathematics, introduction to tourism management courses, etc. And the second one is theoretical and applied courses. For example, cooking, food decoration, beverage technology, foreign language, etc. This is an important information because we conduct these courses in different conditions. We use classrooms for theoretical courses, and we use laboratories for theoretical. Before COVID-19 pandemic, we were organizing our courses face-to-face in faculty classrooms and vocational laboratories. As you can see on the left side, the classroom, and on the right side, the gastronomy laboratory. The interaction and collaboration between our students, academic staff, and the sector professionals was very well before COVID-19 because we were organizing our events with the sector professional. As you know, tourism is an applied science, so we have to make strong connections with tourism industry. Every year in April, we were organizing employment meetings and career days to bring together our students and tourism professionals. And this organization was aiming to help our students to find available positions in tourism industry. But this year, we could not do this because of COVID-19. We could also arrange technical investigation visits to tourism establishments or historical places to give more information about the tourism potential about Turkey. And we also arranged sector and academic think tank meetings, but this year we couldn't do it. We were also exchanging our students with Erasmus protocols. Our students were going to different countries for education and for training, and also international students were coming to our university and faculty, but this year was not available to this Erasmus protocols. And education system in COVID-19 days. This photo is not from Turkey. I found it on internet. It's a funny photo, so I would like to share it with you. The first COVID-19 case was seen on the second half of March. After that, the Council of Higher Education decided to finish face-to-face education at all universities. The Council of Higher Education is an authority on above all of the universities in Turkey. They decided to finish face-to-face education on the last half of March. In a few weeks, all universities quickly established distance learning centers. Akdeniz University had a distance learning center before COVID-19, and that's why we carried our education content to the distance learning system more quickly. It was a chance for us. The DLS, distance learning system of Akdeniz University, is a kind of a digital platform that we can upload all kinds of educational content. We can upload course notes, PowerPoint presentations, videos, and other written and visual contents. And the students can download these contents at your home. They can download these contents their personal computer or their mobile phones. In this platform, academics can prefer two different teaching formats. We have two options. The first one is synchronized format. In this format, a lecturer gives online courses by using some softwares like Zoom or other programs. This content also saved in DLS system, and students can reach this content whenever they want. And the second option is asynchronized format. In this format, lecturer does not give an online course, but they prepare offline courses. Lecturer uploads course notes, PowerPoint presentations, and upload prepared videos to DLS. Students can reach these items whenever they want. We have two different methods in COVID-19 days for education, but we met some problematic issues in these conditions. The first one of it, theoretical courses are presented on DLS, but especially applied courses such as cooking, food decoration, etc., are postponed to the end of August 2020. However, it's not yet certain that these courses will be held in August because the COVID-19 rate is still alive. Another one of the problematic issues in COVID-19 days, exams also transformed to homeworks and project studies. We cannot conduct classical exams because of the reliability and safety problems. This is one of the most difficult parts of the distance learning system, I think, because the evaluation of the homeworks and the project studies is not successful as classical exams for lecturers. So it was really very difficult. And also, students complaining too many homeworks, students complaining about too many homeworks and project studies for too many courses. In Turkey, in a year we have 2 semesters. The first semester is autumn semester. It starts on September, and the second semester is the spring semester. It starts in February. In one semester, every student takes at least 8 courses. This means 8 different homeworks or project studies to be prepared for the exams. It's a difficult issue for students too, but we have to cope with. The other problem is about the internet connection. The internet connection problem is one of the main problems in DLS. Both students and some lecturers had problems accessing the internet. In COVID-19 days, all of the people used internet too much at home. This caused an overload on internet. Because of this reason, some students applied for an education break for this year, and they will continue their education in next year, 2021, will be available. And the education system after COVID days, now, in fact, we cannot say the COVID is finished, because you can see the daily new cases graphics of Turkey on the slide. Every day we met with new 1,000 cases, so the threat is still alive. In June, normalization period is started in many countries and Turkey too, but the virus threat remains. About 1 positive cases are still detected every day in Turkey. That's why the Ministry of Health is following the process very closely. As of today, we don't know if we will be able to start face-to-face courses at the faculty in this September. We don't know. We missed our students and faculty, but the health conditions are always more important. In general, neither the students nor we are satisfied with distance learning. Because, as you know, university education must be realized in the same place. We should be in the same classroom. We should be taught in the same platform. We should be on the same table. If we are away from us, it is very difficult to conduct university education. And also, as I said before, tourism is an applied science. So the theoretical courses are not enough to give enough information to the students. We should make applied courses. We should use our laboratories, and the students should practice in the tourism industry. If we cannot arrange these conditions, tourism in the education is not available and is not successful. And the university atmosphere is very important for these conditions. Because of this reason, the DLS system was maybe perfect, but the quality of education was very low, and the satisfaction of lecturers, satisfaction of students is very low. Technological difficulties are also important problems for everyone. We can still see technological problems, some infrastructure problems. Because of these problems, we cannot connect directly to students, and they cannot reach us, and it's not a good condition. The Distance Learning Center of Akdeniz University is nowadays still working on DLS system to improve its capacity and quality. We are also preparing ourselves for distance education for this season, and we are trying to accept these conditions as the new normal of this period, unfortunately. I hope that we can reach our students and our faculty as soon as possible in healthy ways. Thank you very much. These were Turkish experience about COVID-19 days.
Thank you, Pak Omar. Yeah.
You're welcome.
We do hope that everything is okay and soon COVID will be gone. Yeah, and then you can meet your student again. We will meet our student. Well, now I think it's time for Pak Barat, yeah, from CDU. Yeah, time is yours, Pak.
Thank you. Thank you, Pak Farid. And thank you to the Ministry of Tourism and Pak Hamsu, Pak Farid, to invite me to this presentation. I also want to thank all the participants, and I want to say that I will try to share the screen now, and let me know if it is being shared or not. I'm a bit old style teacher, as you can see, and sometimes I struggle with technology. So let me just try to share this. Let me just try to share the video here. If it doesn't, please let me know. Can you see the slide now?
Yes.
Clear it up.
Yes, please.
Yes,
Thank
Pak.
you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I will just go on to the slideshow here. So as Pak Hamsu, as Pak Farid introduced myself, my name is Bharat Desai. I'm the head of School of Tourism, Hospitality and Service Industries. And my school sits under the Asia Pacific College of Business and Law. So my school is mostly vocational. All of the courses are vocational. So one of the things that we do in our presentation is to thank the traditional owners of this land, which is the indigenous people of Australia. So I just want to read this. Charles Darwin University acknowledges the traditional custodians of the land on which we are meeting and pays respects to elders, both past and present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people. So that we do in every presentation. I just want to quickly take you to the 3 campuses that I'm responsible for and some of the programs that we deliver up to the diploma level. So our VET training campuses are in 3 locations. Alice Springs campus, we do culinary arts. The top picture is from Alice Springs campus. We deliver culinary arts, tourism and hospitality, hair and beauty. We do trades, primary industries, and we have a training restaurant there called Desert Lantern Training Restaurant. The other campus, this is the second campus, which is at the Casuarina campus. This is our main campus. And we have information and communication technology delivered from that campus. All the trades area, engineering, electrical, mechanical, so on and so forth is delivered from that campus. We have primary industries, community and children's services, English language, literacy, numeracy training. And the third campus where I'm sitting, which is the Palmerston campus, a beautiful campus. Pak Farid and Pak Hamsu has visited and they know how beautiful this looks. In this particular campus, mostly tourism hospitality related. So culinary arts, tourism, hospitality, recreation, hair and beauty, retail training, and we have a training restaurant, Carawa Training Restaurant. The Alice Springs campus is about 2,000 kilometers from Palmerston. It takes about 2 hours flight to get there. And I'm responsible for that campus as well, plus information technology in Casuarina. So obviously, probably you already heard that Australia is doing quite well with managing COVID-19, and particularly my state where I come from, where I stay in Darwin, the capital of the Northern Territory. We have had no cases of COVID-19 since around end of April. So we had 30 cases in the beginning and they were all controlled, and we have had no COVID-19 since then. So we are more like normal than the new normal, I would say. So during delivery before COVID-19, we had all classes face-to-face. 80% of the classes were practical classes, 20% was theory. And the theory was some online, some supported, some in class. So some of the online supported classes and assessment were done through our LearnLine platform, which was called LearnLine and supported by Blackboard, the main company. So when the numbers in the Northern Territory grew very quickly, or were growing very quickly from 1 to 5 and so on and so forth, we decided, the university decided to close down the campus for staff and student for a period of 3 weeks. Lucky for us, that is the break period, our term break in the first mid-semester break. So from the 6th of April to 27th of April, we shut down our classes. Complete suspension of classes. 2 weeks of the 3 weeks was holiday for students, so it didn't bother us. And 1 week, the staff used to develop or work through putting everything online and doing a mixed mode delivery model over that period. So all the teaching staff were asked to go back home, except our administrative staff. So they were working from home arrangement. All the remote communities, which is where our indigenous people live, training over there was suspended, completely suspended, and will not start till August 2020. Travel outside to Darwin, Alice Springs was suspended until end of May 2020. So we are all on lockdown in this little town. But we were delivering stuff after the 27th on the learning platform LearnLine. So during arrangements after the 27th of April 2020, by the time we have had no cases, very few cases, but they were all on self-isolation or in hotel isolation, restricted by the government. So we all started, all our classes had recommenced again on the 27th of April, which maintaining social distancing, using sanitizing products by staff, and student at Palmerston Alice, everyone had to follow a strict social distancing regime, including using sanitizing product, which was supplied by the university. The remote delivery and restaurant operations, the training restaurant operations were closed and suspended until semester 2, which begins in July. We had some international students who we, during that period, who could do components of the theory online from their home country, for example, in China, or if they were in Indonesia, or if they were in Philippines, using Zoom. And they can do that until middle of December this year. So our hair, beauty, and retail training at Palmerston campus and Alice Springs campus, these are the programs that we deliver: Diploma of Beauty Therapy, Retail Cosmetics, Certificate 3 in Barbering, Haircutting, Hairdressing, Certificate 2 in Hairdressing, Certificate 3 in Hairdressing. So these are the courses that we delivered, we were delivering after the 27th of April. All of the above courses, we have gone back to training face-to-face. Hair and beauty training salons are open for clients. So we have training salons for hair and beauty. Now it is open for clients, paying clients who come from around the town, and they pay, and the students work on them. Classes have been inspected by our government health officials. So they came, they inspected the classes. They gave us a certificate saying that, yes, your campus is ready to take in guests. You're ready to take clients to work on the hair and beauty, hair cutting, and so on and so forth. Our apprentices who work in the industry and then come and study in block form, they stayed only on video training. So we continued only video training and through Zoom or Team 365, and they remained in Alice Springs till our borders were open for everyone to travel within the state. Our training for the second semester will commence again in July, and it'll be face-to-face for hair and beauty. For culinary arts, that's where we have quite a lot of domestic students as well as international students. We have resumed face-to-face delivery as of the 28th of April. We took some risk mitigation strategies. Social distances in places with reduced kitchen capacity. So normally our kitchen will take about 45 students. We reduced it by 1/3. And we had different timings in the kitchen so that morning, evening, and even in different times of the day, as well as during the weekends that we had classes. To allow for one class in main kitchen, bakery, and also the cafeteria, for the student cafeteria that was converted into a training place. We reduced our classes from 8 hours to 6 hours practical delivery only. Classroom now have a capacity to deliver theory through MS Team, and we don't use that anymore. We started delivering on campus. The practical demonstration is being again conducted in the kitchen, but reduced numbers. The equipment and material is set out in workstations so that students don't have to move and come in contact with others. They're already preset, cleaned, ready for student to use. The workstation and equipment are sanitized before the class commences and also at the end of the class every day. We have 3 people specifically assigned to do that so that there is no contamination. Staff has been given very strict instructions that student and staff maintain social distancing, and inspections are done regularly so that we don't have cross-contamination. For information communication technology in Alice, in Casuarina campus in Alice Springs, we have used a hybrid model. So, and some distance learning, online mode theory delivery, and practical can be provided via hybrid distance online mode due to the nature of the assessment. Students are enrolled in delivery and assessment, so they can do most of the things online. If they need to do some special requirements for training, they are brought to the campus face-to-face, but in small numbers. The whole class is divided and into different groups, and only small numbers are kept in each class at different times of the day. Casuarina campus, where the main ICT students go to, we have used hybrid distance online mode and practical. For assessment and for practical, that requires specialized equipment. Face-to-face by appointment is done. So where there are special things, we have staff who get appointments for the students to come and do those training on campus and in small groups with social distancing, hygiene practices, and followed strictly by staff and student. If you see, I keep saying this all the time because it's very important that without doing those 2 or 3 things, till we find a vaccine, we need to do that. And we have been insisting this for all our staff and students across the university. Same thing for Certificate 4. We're doing exactly the same thing for ICT. However, we also provide learner support, and we can do that by distance learning, online, or by appointment with the staff face-to-face. These are people who need a bit of help, one-on-one help, and we provide that on appointment only. So during COVID-19, this is to the university-wide, just not my school. It was across the university. We designed, so we got together as a team, and a CEDU-WET Learning at Home initiative was rapidly set up as soon as borders were closed. Travel suspension and face-to-face classes suspended due to pandemic. So we got together as a team across from all the different campuses, management. This initiative provided direct support and training for every teacher who was able to rapidly shift to an online or distance mode of teaching. Of these, 55% use the University LearnLine Management System, LMS, Blackboard, 18% use Microsoft Teams, and 10% use a hybrid distance model. So a mix of online, face-to-face, and using books. Only 22% of the vocational education training courses had to be suspended for a period of 2 months, only 22%, due to COVID-19 mandated restrictions. So these are some statistics to give you an idea what we did. Teaching and learning during COVID-19, the support provided to students and teachers as part of CDU's vocational education and training learning at home initiative included an assigned educational designer to support each teacher create an online distance learning model and provide initial professional tuitions. Access to a curated suite online professional development program. Access to a SharePoint site comprising information resources for teacher. Access to a SharePoint site comprising information and resources for students new to online and distance learning. This was done in a period of 3 weeks. Quite a big achievement because our campuses are so far and wide and teachers are everywhere. So e-learning model post-COVID-19, CDU is currently developing a digital capacity framework upon which to build and offer professional development opportunities for teachers after the success of VET LearnLine at Home initiative. It is expected that in future, all VET courses will incorporate digital teaching and learning, whether they are offered on campus, in the workplace, or at the distance. There will also be greater focus on flexible and blended model of delivery that can be adapted in different contexts. The development of these digital capabilities and adaptive delivery models are seen as critical to student academic success and future. I think there was a question, which I don't have a slide for, but there was a question about what did the student feel after this period of time of training online and so on and so forth. I think many students were happy, but there were quite a few who said they would rather have face-to-face training as quickly as possible. One, because they miss their friends and they wanted to be together. They want to work as a team, particularly in hospitality industry, where everyone works as a team. The chefs work as a team, the front office works as a team. And so they wanted to be close to each other and they want to work together. They also found that learning in the classroom in front of a teacher who gives them the information was much more beneficial than doing distance learning. There were issues with internet. Obviously, everywhere internet was not as good as possible. And there was a time difference. So if international students are overseas and local students are here, there was a time difference, and that was a bit of an issue. So I guess from our perspective at Charles Darwin University, for my school, what we have decided is to deliver as much as possible face-to-face. And now we have a platform where we can shift from face-to-face to online delivery if we have resurfacing of the pandemic in this town. So we are ready for that, but we would prefer to do face-to-face in the future. Look, I want to thank you for having me for this presentation and the organizers who put this together. Thank you very much. And if you have any question, let me know in a short while. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Pak Bharat. It's nice presentations that we have got some share informations. So now we come to the last speakers. Then we do question and answer. We get already 10 question and answer here that we will like to deliver to you. But please, Pak Andi Kok, your time is yours now.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, good day to everyone. Thank you for the organizer to invite myself to come and share with all of us our experiences. And I'm definitely very honored and flattered by this opportunity. And I also learned quite a fair bit from the sharing from the two earlier speakers. So let me now share with you Singapore experience in this. Just give me a second, let me pull out my presentation. Okay, just to check that you can see my slide. Okay, for today's sharing, what I would like to really do is to help us to see three things. One is the challenges that we all face with the sudden transition to home-based learning or e-learning. The second thing that I'd like to help us to know more about is the strategies that we used in this new normal situation, as well as the implications for education in the future, with COVID being here for a long time. Okay. And in this particular sharing, I'll try to keep it as succinct as possible. And I'll cover 6 different aspects. The first will be the disruption and the transformation of education in the more global, phenomenal context. And then our role as educators, and how do we respond to it in the Republic Polytechnic context, and some of the implications for future of education, and some key takeaways from this sharing. So a little bit about Republic Polytechnic. We are established in 2002, and we have currently 14,000 students and 1,300 staff on campus. And this is our campus on the northern side of Singapore. We are the first educational institute in Singapore to leverage problem-based learning. So our main pedagogy is problem-based learning. However, besides PBL, we also have other instructional strategies like interactive seminars, project-based learning, and cognitive apprenticeship. Our vision and mission of Republic Polytechnic highlighted 2 key qualities that are very important and prominent in this COVID-19 situation, which is innovation in a very dynamic world. Especially with this sudden change, we need to make use of a lot of new technologies. So let me put everything in the context of the global phenomena first, before I talk about Republic Poly's response to it. So one of the key things that we realized, and from the UNESCO's report as well, is that the disruption to education in this COVID-19 era is really quite tremendous. And it has caused many schools to close nationwide, and almost 60% of the world's student population are impacted. And there are more than 1.5 billion students across 191 countries globally that are out of classroom, especially conventional classrooms. There are also nearly 830 million learners globally that have a lack of computers, of access to computers in order to learn online. And that is quite a tremendous number to work on. And many of them, which is more than 40%, have no internet access at home. So this gives us the background in which we are working on for our online learning. So that actually impacts on the transformation that education has to take very quickly in response to this global phenomenon. And we actually look at 2 different resources that are online that actually help us to know a bit better on how transformation of education has taken place. And later on, I'll share a bit more about Republic Polytechnic in this aspect as well. First, there's a huge sudden rise in the number of e-learning modules. There's also a lot of enrollments for online courses. For example, Coursera over one weekend has seen a sign up of 500,000 enrollments for one online course. That's just one example of how much of enrollments have gone on for e-courses or online courses. And there are a lot of online apps that were actually being used for all the various learning. For example, language apps, virtual tutoring, video conferencing tools, and online learning softwares like those highlighted here. These are the top 6 that has been highlighted by the World Economic Forum. Before COVID-19, there is a market research that shows that online education will reach $350 billion by 2025, and that was pre-COVID. And with COVID situation, I believe that this figure will be much more than what is first projected. So what are some of the challenges that are being magnified in this new paradigm with COVID-19 situation? There are two key things that have happened. One is the digital divide between those who have access and have the technological tools versus those who do not have. And many of them do not have access or even have the tools to actually go on to online learning. And that is one major issue. The other one is the issue of security. Cybersecurity becomes a bigger issue for many of our educational institutions because there were a lot of security breaches due to the type of platforms that were used very in a very quick manner and causing a lot of people to not protect their own private information on their laptop or their digital gadgets. So what are some of the goals that have shifted because of these challenges? And in here, there are two key goals that have been shifted. One is about the lost generation. If we were not to respond to this new demand for the education sector to shift from conventional classrooms or face-to-face based education to a more virtual and online classrooms, we would have missed out on the learning opportunity. Imagine if COVID were to stay here for a year, the whole year would be a lost year and giving rise to this lost generation. What it has forced us to do is that many educators like us have to learn from life situations like this for life, constantly engaging in new ways of understanding how learning can take place in different platforms. And therefore, many of us, because of that ability to quickly adapt and respond, we are now the reason for not having a lost generation and save the school year for even under this kind of emergency situation. So with that set as a background, I will now switch to the example in Republic Polytechnic and how we respond to this disruption. Home-based learning is something that we have always been wanting to do and always been doing. Right from the start, we already have a learning management system online where students were accessing all these materials pre-COVID situation. However, it doesn't mean that we are all prepared. So what we did was that we actually look at equipping our staff in a very short turnaround time and equipping our students as well so that they can respond to the learning. And after we have equipped them, run the program, we are also constantly looking to feel the pulse of their learning experiences and also to look at how we can gather their feedback in order to move forward with the improvements of the systems and the learning itself. So let me go slightly in greater detail on how we actually go about equipping our staff as the first step. So to help prepare our staff, we equip them through multiple modes of learning and consistent reinforcements of what they have learned, focusing on the learners itself. So pre-COVID era, what we did was we actually have academic professional development trainings that are targeting at IETL e-courses, as well as making them go through the e-courses themselves for all the faculty members so that they have an understanding of how and what it means to go through learning online. We also have many programs that were asked to form to be delivered online. So for every single subject or modules that we have requested every single one of them to have at least minimally one lesson full lesson to be conducted online. And this was done in every single semester. Apart from that, we also have communities of practice where practitioners come together, faculty members come together to share best practices or good practices that they have, or even failures in the practices so that we can learn from the mistakes. We also have a regular platform where we exchange ideas. And this is also in the form of articles written by our faculty members on this publication called EdBytes. And we also developed a guidebook for IETL related matters so that our faculty members can refer to it at any point in time that deals with the design of e-learning lessons, courses, as well as the delivery of it. So during COVID era, we quickly went into further reinforcements of all these practices and good practices of our staff. So what we did was that we ran a series of tips and tricks under the EdBytes for EdTech series. So this EdTech series runs a lot of infographics, materials, tips, quick fixes that help our faculty members to be more prepared for converting some of the lessons overnight. From the COPs, Community of Practice, face-to-face, we then turn to forming the e-community instead because of the COVID-19 situation. Because in Republic Polytechnic, we went to the full e-mode when the ministries announced that we have to go into the e-mode. So currently, we are still 80% on e-mode and 20% for those practical lessons to be back in the campus. So for this particular eCube COP, I will go into details how we make use of the eCube COPs to help prepare and reinforce our learning and preparation of the faculty members. So we actually run a series of COPs with a few different topics. The first topic was to get them started using the two main learning management platforms and e-learning platforms, which is Microsoft Teams and Leo 2.0, which is our internal learning management system. Then we went into the sharing of different models that they can make use of in order to enhance the teaching and learning during the home-based learning. So one example would be the sharing of the application of Julie Salmon's 5 stages of processes. Then we went to other topics like how to provide the back-end channel for our faculty members to connect with our learners, our students, so that they will not get lost in terms of the learning, and should they require additional support, they can use these offline modes, which is our WhatsApp business as well as Telegram. We also talk about specific issues in the ECOPs like sustaining students' motivation, what are some of the strategies that we can use, and supporting assessments. What are the ways that we can assess our students quite differently? Because for us, we actually have to do away with the conventional paper pen exams and went into a different mode of assessment, and as well as ways to engage our learners through different EdTech tools, like for example, Kahoot, Padlet, Google Forms, and gamification. In all this, we try to also look at constructive alignment, which we call the D2A alignment. We look at the design. How do they chunk their learning and lessons such that they can better manage the cognitive load of our learners? They also learn about the need to have contingency plan during the lesson and the design itself, making sure that should one of the lesson design did not work for the group of students, they must quickly then activate the contingency plan to help them learn effectively. And in terms of delivery, they are also looking at the construct of conducive environment for online learning, as well as providing support for the collaborative learning. Because we believe in active learning, so we actually gave a lot of different tools to help support the active learning to take place. Next is the assessment that needs to be aligned to the design and the delivery. So we created milestone checks and evaluation opportunities for learners to evaluate themselves, each other, as well as for the faculty members to assess them. We also look at communicating expectations, for example, giving them the actual rubrics of assessment for each lesson so that they know how they are being assessed and work towards the goal. So these 6 C's are the key support elements that we use to help them to reinforce what they need to do by the faculty members. As I've shared earlier, one of the key things that we needed to do is to gather feedback from our learners. So one of the things that we did to help gather feedback was to get our students to write reflection journals. So for example, in week 1 of the home-based learning, we asked students to reflect on the challenges faced by them. So there were 4 key things that they gave feedback on. First, they felt that they can be technically challenged. They also felt lost.
Sorry, Mr. Koch, we have to give you 2 minutes more, please.
Okay, I'll speed up.
Okay.
Okay. So these are the 4 areas that they felt a bit challenged, and these 4 challenges were then given 4 different ways to help them address the challenges, and these are suggestions given by the staff. To continue with the feedback, we also asked them what they liked and what they wanted to improve on. And these are the 4 key things that they have highlighted, which is the clear explanation and the support from the faculty member through the various means. And the area of improvement has to do with how they find the tools to be more useful and the clarity in assessment to be given. Likewise, we also asked the staff what they felt that is important and how they would like things to be improved. And the key idea behind here is that they will need more support in their IT aspect as well as the workload. So to summarize, these are the key ideas behind how Republic Polytechnic actually deal with this. So with that, I will skip the rest first. You can read them on your own. Okay, I'm so sorry that I have to rush the last few minutes. And this is the key takeaway. And I would say that these are the continued courses that we provide for our staff. And if you're interested, you can also help us by joining us as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Koch. Yeah, actually, we are very interesting. Yeah, the presentations, but the time. Yeah, so sorry, Pak Andi. Yeah,
no, sorry for taking the time. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's nice presentations. I think that this is one of the sharing experience. Yeah, from Singapore. We know that Singapore is very learning process. Yeah, especially for Singapore Republic College Singapore, they have PBL system. It's hard for PBL system. I know that. Yeah, this is a problem-based learning. Yeah. But now, before we come to question and answers, we will see around 3 minutes for Poltek Parlombok video, our academy. Tidak mampu ndak kau punya anu. campus. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Bapak Ibu yang sama berbahagia, sekarang kita coba masuk pada sesi tanya jawab. Ini ada beberapa pertanyaan. I open the question and answer here. Pak Omar, you have nominated of the question and answer here, yeah, because there are many questions to you, yeah.
Yes.
Firstly, so Pak Omar, how do you integrate the DLS in synchronous and unchronous, yes, in your institutions? Yeah, this is from State University of Makassar.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for the question to Andromeda Valentino Sinaga. As I said on my presentation, we have a system. It's called DLS. We use it to upload our course content. In the same time, you can present your lesson. You can present your course by using Zoom programs or Adobe programs, this kind of programs on DLS system. It's a technical issue. If you choose the synchronized system on DLS, you can start your course with live videos. But if you choose asynchronized system, you can upload your presentation, your offline video record, and students can reach them whenever they want. This is a technical issue. Every lecturer can prefer one of these issues, one of these options.
Okay. For all of you here, question from Ibu Wenzia. Can we answer the other speakers also about this is from Sustainable Tourism Education Department. Yeah, under current situations, how HU is trying to create a balanced assessment. And the second one, how are you building resilience in educators and students to cope with the challenges and opportunities in e-learning? Yeah, maybe some of you can answer also, except Pak Omar. Pak Barat or Pak Andi?
Yeah, look, I will take that question, and thank you for the question. And that is one of the a very important aspects of making sure that what uh, sorry, let me put the video on. What assessment doing we are doing is consistent, that everyone is doing the same thing. So what we had done was we had spoken to the people in the industry where our students are working, or doing practical during the COVID-19, and that was an issue as well. That some of the tourism hospitality was very limited. Very few people were traveling. As I said, we were quite lucky in Darwin that we were closed for a few weeks only. There was a lot of internal tourism that was happening. So a lot of the people were traveling from one place to the other. What I'm trying to get at is that we asked the student to video what they were cooking, what they were practicing in a real environment. We asked their supervisors to sign off a certificate saying that, yes, this student did all this in front of me. They did these different types of work, and the work that we had described were very prescribed, so we couldn't do everything. So we were saying, for example, if you're making a roast chicken, so we will ask everyone to do the roast chicken on this particular day, video it and send it to us, and then we can look at it. Now, luckily for us, our what do you call them? The internet's quite good, and our student numbers are small compared to Andy or Omar, for that matter. I've got only 600 students compared to the 16,000 and the 30,000 students that you have.
Wow.
So what I'm saying is that they send those videos and we assess them again, our competencies, and we gave them assessment. We couldn't do everything, but we did whatever we could with the little resources that we had.
Okay, Pak Andi.
We also have similar experience on the assessment part. We have to do away with all the conventional paper pen assessment and gone into more audiovisual as well as graded assignments approach. So they are supposed to write and describe more and explain more as compared to doing a paper pen test. The other one is the audiovisual. They take recording of themselves, which is very similar to the Australian experience as well. Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry. Omar, you have another answer, another question, another answer? Omar?
I have no another answer. We are in similar conditions.
Oh, okay. Okay then. Now we go to another questions here. Pak Jailani, Jul Jihad, Lombok Tourism Policy. As we have got the same problem on adapting and facing this new normal, I really want to know how do lecturers and students benefit from this era, especially on managing your distance learning systems. Yes, some of you maybe. Pak Andi first.
Thank you for the question. From our feedback from our students, we actually noticed that they actually said that they can retain the information better because they can repeatedly look at the materials that are being recorded.
Okay.
They can understand it better because they get more chance to talk to their friends in terms of what they understood from the materials. And they also felt that the lecturers provided more means of for them to actually learn. So for example, the lecturers for the same concept has a video, has a reading, has an explanation. So they can actually look at all these three different materials to understand the same concept. So they find that they can learn better.
Yeah. So you have another answer, Pak Bharat? Mr. Bharat?
Yes, I would just add one more to Andy. that because everyone was in that situation, the student found that the lecturers and teachers were more kind to them. They could understand if they have a problem or they didn't understand, or there was a internet issue or something. They were much kinder, they were much helpful, and each other. It became like a big teamwork because everyone was in the same situation. So so the feeling was that, yeah, we, like Andy said, you could repeat your classes, it's video, you can call anybody anytime. There was lecturers who were working longer hours than normal. In Australia, we would go home at 4:21, every afternoon, but everybody was working long hours and helping the students get through the courses. So that was one thing, a community and friendship between the lecturers and the students.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so we have same facing, of course, then. Pak Omar, you have comment, Pak Omar?
Yes, it is similar. As Mr. Baharat said, we are working longer than normal days. And there are some opportunities in these conditions. For example, we are making some conversation meetings on Zoom with our students in these COVID days. Before these COVID days, we were not speaking too much as in these days, but we can speak too much. And we can speak about our experiences also. In normal days, before COVID-19 days, we were speaking generally about the courses, about the scientific issues, but in these conditions, we can speak about our personal problems, our health problems, our hopes, our future, etc. There are too many different issues to speak on human in these conditions. This is the most important chance of this situation, I think.
Okay. And then, Mr. Kandi, you have a special questions here about community practice.
Yes.
Practice at your campus, how this work and how reliability this community practice develop in quality learning. Yes, Pandi.
Thank you for the question.
Yeah.
For community of practice, it's actually for the faculty members who come together to exchange the ways in which they conducted and delivered their online lessons. So the different tools or different strategies that they use are all being shared during that session. So we use MS Teams to do this ECOPs online, and for us to share, and we could even demonstrate how it can be done during the particular COP, so that everyone who joins in are voluntary, so it's not compulsory, so only those who are interested will join in and they will share. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Pak Omar, this is question that about during your learning process, how could you divide the class, especially? I think the others also speakers can answer also. Vocational class, how many usually you the student attending for one class, especially for practices class, Pak Omar?
As I said in my presentation, in these COVID-19 days, we cannot conduct applicable courses. But in normal days, we are dividing our classroom into two different parts, especially they are consisting of 30 or 40 students. We use in the same time two different laboratories, but we postponed all of our applied courses in this season.
For culinary art, how many students for one class?
In the first, yes, we have 1,200 students in our faculty.
Okay.
And in both two faculties, we have more than 4,000 students. In every class, nearby 100 students for gastronomy and culinary arts, and we have two different programs. The first one starts at 9 p.m. in the morning and finishes at 5 at the evening, and the other program starts at 5 p.m. Afternoon on the evening, and finish at 11 at noon, at night.
Okay. For when practical culinary art, how many students participate for the classroom in practical?
In practical, one class, one laboratory, 30 students. In the same time, we divide our classroom into 2 parts or 3 parts in the practical.
Okay. Pak Barat, how many?
Yeah, so we have a smaller class number. So at one time, say we start at 8 in the morning and finish at 4 o'clock normally. We that reduce the class to only 6 hours class in total. And instead of having 45 students, which is normally the case, we reduced it to 15 students. And then because it was 6 hours class instead of 8 hours, we then distributed the class over three sessions during the day. So so that way it reduces the number of people, and the classes run to late at night, so people can be at different times. And we always maintain 2 meter square distance between student. Previously, the student can gather ingredients, go to the fridge, gather everything together before they start preparing and a demonstration. The staff would demonstrate. This time what we have done is we set up the individual stations ready with all the ingredients, all the equipment, everything on table for each student. So they don't have to go anywhere, they just stay there. So there's less interaction in the classroom. All the demonstration is then streamed on big televisions. So they don't have to come close to each other, they can watch from very far. So these are the things we put into place.
Pandi.
Our experience is very similar to the Australian experience as well.
Yeah.
So our class size is between 10 to 12 students per class. Yeah. So, and all the safety measures is similar to the Australian.
Okay. So my special question for 3 of you, especially for the mindset of the lectures, the changing from face-to-face teaching methodology to be online. For example, I know that in Singapore it's very hard with PBL, problem-based learning. Can we use the PBL also for the online system?
Thank you for the question. Yes, actually it became a lot more real for them, because we will work the problem with this situation. So all the situations that we encounter is now part and parcel of the problem that they are facing. So whichever subject that they are dealing with, this experience itself will help them. So it's not taken in isolation, but to integrate the whole experience together.
So Pak Barat, you have another strategy for the lectures?
It was a very interesting time to see how lecturers were performing, believe it or not. More than the students and lecturers, our students were at an age between 29 and 35 maximum, the age limit. Whereas the lecturers were like me with gray hair, teaching for many, using PowerPoint presentation, using the old methods. So we had those type of people who found it a bit difficult to learn, and they would complain and so on and so forth. But they got along, did what they could. But the younger people were very happy to do that, because they had more time to themselves. They could sit at home and teach. Most of them were sitting at home and teaching all these students. So they were quite happy doing that. So it was a mix situation where some really loved it and they want to do it for the rest of their lives. And there are some who complain and say, no, we want to get back to the kitchen again and work in front of staff. So that's kind of a mixed situation.
Okay. How about Omar? You have experience, Omar?
Yes, I think most of the lecturers are not satisfied in these conditions, because in Turkish society we love talking to face, eating on the
That's
same,
right.
on the same table,
Yeah.
and speaking loudly, maybe, but in the same class, in the warm conditions.
Yeah,
But in these conditions, we are in front of a computer, in front of a camera, and we are speaking to an internet technology, and we can the face of the students, but they are just on the screen of our computer. This is not reality.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we are not happy. We have some technical problems. Okay, we have some technological problems. Okay, but the most important problem is, I think, this plastic atmosphere. It's not organic. So
Okay.
we would like to reach our classroom.
Okay. These questions come also to all of you here, especially Pak Andi, about how about well, we would look, we don't like to make compare, but we would like to know, yeah, because this is we have to know the problems about the infrastructure, the infrastructures of internet, yeah, the infrastructures of everything that access in your country, yeah, during the online system teaching, learning. Yeah, Pak Barat, you're first then.
Yeah, as I said, our spread of student was quite limited, in the sense between here and Alice Springs was the limit, so 2,000 kilometers, where students were distributed in different places. We had most of the students who are international students who came from different countries, where either in Melbourne or Sydney. There were only 2 or 3 students who were overseas, who could not get in time before the borders closed for Australia. So I guess we had a less problematic situation. We had a much more easy operational, whereby the city students could learn, but people in the remote communities where they were in the bush, where internet wasn't there, we had no training there anyway, suspended, and still suspended so far. So we didn't have much of an issue.
So do you have a solution from the governments or from the institution about that?
Yes, we do have quite a bit. I mean, there were three different prong approach to this. One, for students, we gave them, if they were coming here and they were finding it difficult, they didn't have work and so on and so forth, we gave them free food for a very long period of time. The government, people who didn't have jobs, and it's still the case, is that they gave them every week amount of money to be so that they get money to eat and so on and so forth. With the situation with the internet and so on and so forth, the students could go to the libraries, which was free, so they can use the internet if they have no internet at home. So these are the different ways of supporting our students, and for the lecturer as well. So if the lecturers are working from home, CDU provided all the equipment and all the training and everything at home. So they would come and set it up for you. So we had all these different approaches used within this state.
Okay. Pak Omar, your experience about the infrastructures.
On the first weeks of the pandemic, there was really big problems about the infrastructure, especially about the internet infrastructure. As you know, in COVID-19 days, all of the people went to their homes and they use internet. They watch videos, they watch television serials, they watch lots of things. And this was an overloading for our internet infrastructure in Turkey. And after that, the repair teams went to the solution centers. But as you know, there were forbidden days to go street for every people, so the repair teams cannot solve this problem. But now we are on better conditions. And the second problem is about students' personal computers. some of the students have no personal computers, so this was a big problem. And the other problem is about the internet package fees for students. They can not reach all the data about all the content about their courses because their quota, internet quota, is not available to reach this content. But the government made some solutions for this problem. They gave to the students extra internet quota to cope this problem. These are the main technological infrastructure problems. But now we are in better conditions.
Okay. Yes, Pak Andi. I hope you don't have a problem because very small country then.
Yes, we are
Yes.
a very small little
Yes,
red
Andy.
dot. Because prior to this COVID situation, all our students are already owning at least one laptop because they have to access all their lessons through the laptop. So right from the start, they already have that basic tools to make use of. But what was really the challenge is that because when they are at home, learning from home, if their family has 3 or 4 people working at the same time, the bandwidth is very limited.
That's right.
So they could not actually have a good bandwidth to deal with certain things. Plus, when 4 of them are talking at the same time, it becomes very challenging for them to learn. So those were the challenges that we have to overcome rather than just the bandwidth issue and the infrastructure. Yeah, it's a lot more social issue because we are all very compact in one small house. So what we did as an institution was to provide classrooms for those who really have very limited space at home to come to the campus, but in isolated classrooms so that they can continue their learning on campus. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Come to another questions to Pak Andi Kok, Mr. Andi Kok here about community of practical question measure. This one, how to measure or evaluation students' work in the COVID era. Do you think it's the same measurement for the assessment?
You mean for the practical lessons,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So for practical lessons like what Pak Bharat mentioned earlier on, a lot of the assessment has to be videotaped. They actually have to video what they are doing and then do an oral assessment online. Yeah. So these were the methods in which we have used to help with the assessment of practical session. However, we know that that's not the best solution at the moment because there's nothing beats being there to see the actual doing of those tasks. And some of those practical lessons cannot take place. For example, because we have a outdoor adventure learning education where they have to demonstrate how to rappel down from a wall or the rock wall. They can't do that at home. So there's no facilities for them to do that. Or laboratories that is required, they don't have the laboratory equipments to actually demonstrate. So that became a challenge. So some of these lessons were actually postponed until we can bring them back to the campus for assessment.
Okay, so it's mean you don't need to what you mean that the policy of the to reduce how to resume the students difference between before COVID and after COVID then.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, it means the same standard, still a same standard, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Pak Bharat, you have about how to assume that student.
Yeah, so we allowed students a bit of liberty. For example, students, I'll give you an example from say hairdressing and beauty therapy.
Okay.
We allowed students to do the practical assessment on their family and videotape it. So normally it is for paid customer. So it's somebody they don't know. But here, when you do it on the family, they can help you and so on and so forth. So we gave that extra bit that we are fine with that as long as you show us how it is done. We also allowed in culinary arts and in front of house to have house parties for their family. So chefs will cook and they'll demonstrate, and that was used as an assessment as well. So we were a bit liberal with our students, and as long as they can produce that and send it to us by post, or they send it loaded up into our system, which was called ShareStream. They could do it through ShareStream. We were happy to accept that as an assessment. But again, very limited, and we are very lucky that we didn't have to close down the campus for a very long time. And they are all here now. We have everyone working face-to-face as of today, as of yesterday.
Okay, good. Lucky for you then.
Absolutely.
Pak Omar, do you have comment? Do you have experience about the Zoom the students?
Excuse me, I missed the question. Could you
yes, it is one question. Just I summarized the questions about how you make a measurement to evaluate the students before COVID and after COVID, or during COVID, that you make another system for COVID, a special COVID, or it's just the same, just same.
Now there is a national authority in Turkey about the universities. As I said in my presentation, the Council of Higher Education. Generally, the Council of Higher Education plus some strategies in these conditions. Now there is no any specific rules or strategies about after COVID conditions, but we are thinking about change the number of classrooms in faculty. For example, some days will be available for some students, and another days will be available for another students. And we will mix the online and face-to-face education in the same time. If the students cannot come to the campus in a day, they can continue their education on web, on internet. They can follow their courses by using internet technologies after COVID-19 days. This is an idea now, but this is not a certain decision.
Looks like Pak Farid has taken a short break.
Connectivity issue, which is very common.
This is one have to make a comment, yeah. Well,
Yes.
as we know that LMS, yeah, learning management system that we use internal in our campus, but how many percent that you use also the external, like a Zoom or everything, or you just use especially for online, yeah, you just use your own LMS, not use the others, yeah, applications. Can you give some experience there? Pak Andi first.
For Republic Polytechnic, we use two main ones. The external one is Microsoft Teams, which is one of the main ones, and the other one is our internal one, our internal learning management system. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Pak Barat?
For us, most of the training, which is theoretical training, we use our internal system, which is called Blackboard. But for CDU, we call it LearnLine, supported by Blackboard. Whereas for communication with the students, face-to-face communication like we are doing now, we use two main of them, the Zoom and Teams. Team was more helpful for staff and much easy to adapt to. Zoom was used as well extensively, depending on where the student was. So these were the three LMSs that we used.
Pak Omar?
Most of the lecturers who prefer synchronized education system use Zoom, and the other part of the lecturers prefer Adobe or Microsoft Teams, but mostly Zoom is used.
Okay. Well, I hope that this is because now is we hear the news that we have to be careful about the external applications, about the security. Yeah, this is a problem also. Yeah, this is one of we have to take care. Yeah, about that. Okay, another question here. What do you mean by home-based learning? Andy Kok, Pak Andy Kok, it is similar to homeschooling learning system?
No, home-based learning basically is learning from home. And because for us, we can only stay at home to learn at this point in time.
Okay.
We are not allowed
Okay.
to go anywhere else.
Okay. Okay, here is another question. So I think we give, if the audience ya dari peserta yang pingin mau bertanya langsung, silahkan saya berikan waktu ya 1-2 orang untuk bertanya sebelum kita tutup. Ya, sebelum kita tutup.
Saya Pak Farid.
Oh silakan, Pak Director would like to asking something ya.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Farid. Same for the all speakers. We just we are going to know how to conduct the industrial attachment or internship program, because at the moment we know that very low occupancy of the hotel and in all industries. So that's mean difficult. Most of them are reject our how to so that every institution how to conduct the internship training program. Maybe it's different between hospitality and tourism, I think. And the second one, I think, how to deliver for the vocational material like kitchen. Pak Barat say just now that the practical can be done in the home. Yeah. So how about the material is provided from institution or by themselves?
Yeah, thank Pak Hamsu for that interesting question. So there were different things that was used across the country. For us, we gave the students the name of the ingredients and say that's what you go and buy and do the practical. And when you come, you bring the receipt, we'll pay you money back. So that was one of the ways of doing it. In other cases, we have what is called Australia Fresh, whereby it's a company. We tell the company that for today's cooking, this is all the ingredients that we need. So they will measure everything. They'll put all this together, and then we tell them where the address of the student is. They will go and give those parcel to the students, and then the students will cook and take a video and send it to us. That's for the kitchen side of things. Obviously, we had issues with restaurant service and so on and so forth. And we had to take the decision that we will do only the theory for a period of time, and we'll suspend the practicals when they come back. So we had to do all those adjustments, and that was very difficult for many people, and including the students. But we have managed there quite well so far.
So how about intensive program, Pak Barat?
So the intensive program, which we call in this country block training, and also for internship, which probably you were asking if students had to work in the industry. Again, I think probably you are asking the wrong person, because our industry did not collapse. We had we had all the restaurants open within 3 or 4 weeks time. We had hotels open, not fully, but most of them, and internal tourism. So I think it'd be better if you ask Omar or Andy.
Yes, Pak Andy, how do you think about intensive program in Singapore?
Yes, internship program is really a huge blow to us as well, because we are totally not able to have any kind of tourism, and our internal market is very small as compared to any other countries. Yeah. So what we did was that a lot of the internship programs have to switch into virtual internship for some of them. So some of the hotels actually gave this virtual internship to look at some of the back-end operations that the students can still work on in that particular area. Others, where they cannot get an internship placement, what they do is to convert it into a project that's related to that particular industry, so that it can be in terms of how to gather new marketing for internal markets for them to generate income even in under such circumstances. So these were some of the things that we have to adjust based on the requirements of safety and all that. Yeah.
So do you think it's effective to use that for intensive program by online with industry?
I think it's not the most ideal, because there are a lot of things they cannot do. For example, housekeeping you can't do virtually.
Right.
So that is really a challenge. However, we have, because we do have training kitchens as well and training restaurants, so those are still in operations. So there's still some internal customers that are still able to go to these places. So we do have those that goes on. But for hotel, it's really a huge blow to us. Yeah.
Omar, about intensive, Pak Omar.
Right. Yes. In this year, we postponed our internship programs to next year because the tourism industry suffered too much from this COVID problem. But some students choose other businesses like public restaurants, not touristic restaurants, like public hotels, like other social places, recreation places for their internship. But there is no available internship conditions in Turkey for tourism industry now, because we postponed all of our internships to the next year. And an online internship is not an alternative for a practical internship, I think. So it looks like watching food videos from YouTube. When you watch it, you cannot taste it.
Because the food tested can be online, yeah.
Yes.
Pak Barat, one question from director just now that you talk about you make assessment to the student, they make it at home, the product, but who prepare the the food or everything? Yeah, they do by themselves or by campus?
No, they do by themselves. So there were two methods we used. One was we give them that this is the assessment today. They go and buy the ingredient, the quantity, and when they finish the assessment, they do the video while they're doing the video that. But when they come to the campus, they bring the receipt for all the money they spent for the ingredients, and we give them the money from here. So that way they don't have to spend their own money. And the other way was to employ an external provider, a food provider. We give them the recipe and say, these are the ingredients and this is the address of all the students. So they prepare the box with all the right ingredients and they deliver to those students. And we take the cost. The university takes the cost. So a student is not affected as if they are working here. The only difference is they're cooking at home for their family.
Okay. Well, I think so. We have one question. The last question we give to the audience. Yeah, who can give questions? Yeah, from the audience. Pedro, I give to. I hope this one, Gibran, from where? Gibran, are you there? Hello, Gibran. It's not there. Okay. We go to.
Gibran already there.
Yeah, Giban, are you there? Do you have question, Giban? No, just photo in there.
Oh,
Sony,
already end.
Sony. Ah, but Sony, you are there? You have question? No.
I think there's a lag in the system, so they cannot respond with the mic muted. So they will take a while to respond.
Kita responnya ini.
Masih unmute itu, Pak. Ya. Ya, sudah ini, Pak.
Okay, I think time is over.
Already.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all. Before we leave, before we leave, please open all the video because we have to make a memory site. Yeah, please open all the video. Hamsu also, would like to take a picture. Yeah, for our administration, for our memory. Yeah, for the future successful future with our speaker, great speaker, Pak Omar, Pak Barat, and Pak Andi. Yeah.
Omar, what time now in Turkey? 11?
Yes, 11 p.m.
11 p.m. Already late night already.
Yes, there are 5 hours difference.
Malam.
Ya, mohon dibuka semua ya videonya. Oke, kita ambil foto untuk memori ya, untuk kenang-kenangan bersama 3 narasumber kita, Pak Barat. Nah, ini ada Ibu Femi Cantik juga ada di sini. Ya. Oh, bagus. Ya, silakan. Mohon dibuka semua ya. 1 minute, dibuka, senyum yang manis, nah gitu ya.
Selamat sore Pak Putu.
Selamat sore Pak. Makasih Pak sudah nimbrung. Oh ada Bu Ika juga, Ibu Iren ya dari apa nih Poltekpar Bali. Oke. Jason, you still join ya?
Oh Jason.
Okay.
Jason.
Sudah.
Femi buka videonya.
Mohon dibuka semua videonya, Pak Abdul Hadi, Pak Anas, kemudian Pak siapa lagi nih? Gandauli. Silakan Pak dibuka videonya supaya kita bisa saling kenal juga ya. Oh, ada juga Pak Kanom ini, orang Banyuwangi. Nah.
Siap,
ya.
Pak.
Oke.
Ramadan tapi sedang di Mandalika.
Ayo.
Oke. Di kontak Pak Farid. Yuk.
Pak Putu Laksaguna, selamat sore.
I feel like drifting away.
Welcome to Indonesia. Our destination waiting you. Our destination waiting you. Gili Trawangan. Lombok. Bye. Nah.